So, good afternoon and welcome to Insight Research. The reason we are here is a development in early February. 1Finity announced that Rakuten Mobile had decided to deploy its massive MIMO Open RAN compliant radios across its network all over Japan. And if you know, Rakuten is one of the few operators that claims to have a fully virtualized cloud native 5G network. These radios run in a 32T 32R configuration. They are built on Qualcomm Dragonwing QRU 100 platforms. Uh, what is interesting is that these units, as Onefinity claims, are passively cooled for energy efficiency and long-term reliability. So the question is this development a marker of Open RAN finally coming to its long, I would say, promised position of occupying the prime time? Or is it one of the many false starts that this particular development has endured since inception? To discuss this, today I am joined by Heikki Almay. Heikki started his journey at Nokia, where he helped shape IP connectivity and mobile network architectures that power networks even today. Now, he is the co founder of PowerNet and CaruGrid, building simple private mobile networks and smart off grid solar solutions across Europe and Africa. He has long championed openness in telecom and was active in launching the Telecom Infra project. He is also the architect of the award-winning social ISP model and serves as telecom expert to the Earth 3.0 Foundation, working to connect the unconnected in the global south. So, in conclusion, he brings together telecom, AI, and distributed systems with one clear goal: turning advanced technology into practical solutions that close the digital divide. Heikki, is this an accurate description?
Sounds familiar. Hey, thanks for having me.
So, welcome to Inside Research, Heikki. So, the reason we are here is the development between, the announcement of Onefinity and Rakuten Mobile. S- uh, this is clearly not just another Open RAN press release. We are talking about the commercial deployment of 32T, 32R massive MIMO radios in a live cloud native network. And we'll agree that massive MIMO has been the Achilles heel, or you can say the proverbial stress test for Open RAN credibility, particularly in urban environments. So, what do you think? Is this the moment that Open RAN proves that it can handle high capacity macro, or is it still confined to a controlled environment where you cannot generalize that it will be successful?
Yeah, I think this is an important step, and this is probably the first real sales of massive MIMO by Onefinity. And according to my understanding, the earlier Vodafone and AT&T announcements, where they are part of the RAN modernization, they seem to be for conventional RUs. And if now Onefinity is making the step into the massive MIMO space, and if they are successful and can go to the say high traffic density urban sites, then I think we need to congratulate them. But then if you look at the circumstances, so Rakuten Mobility has partnered with NEC on massive MIMO since I think 2020 or so, and it has been very silent around that collaboration. And now that NEC has announced that they will exit the 4G 5G business, then obviously Rakuten is in a way in a dead end with this topic. And now for Rakuten, obviously this announcement is a way forward in deployments where they need massive MIMO, and obviously dense urban is an important topic for them as well. And now, in a way, you can see this as a win-win for the two parties. They are in Japan and they can sort out the initial issues with the products in Japanese. So I think it's also kind of a boost for the Open RAN movement.
So this is a big deal, according to you.
Yeah, okay, we don't know the volumes, but it's definitely something that will be discussed, for example, at the Mobile World Congress.
Sure. So, yeah, I mean, this is the first time, as you rightly said, they're going about it in an urban circumstance. Any thoughts on what makes it more challenging in the urban circumstance?
Well, I mean the current Open RAN players, just like everyone else, where they need to go for spectral efficiency. That's where the people are, or where there are lots of users, and that's in dense urban areas. And well, so far, or if you are a mobile operator and you need to look for vendors, then obviously you have a certain preference. If you have somebody who can not just cover the rural and suburban areas, but someone who can help you also in those high traffic density areas is welcome. Obviously, you could go with two vendors, but then that's another integration topic. So there's a preference.
Okay, great. Now let's look at the energy per bit, what the announcement also covers. So if you look at it on the surface, passive cooling in massive MIMO sounds very attractive indeed. But what do you think? I mean, does the math really work out if you
Yeah.
consider traffic growth, summer peak loads, the age
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
components?
I mean, because this are use passive cooling for the simple reason that the fan lifetimes are rather short, and replacing them on towers and rooftops is terribly complicated and costly. And to make things worse, you need the fans in places that are sunny and hot. And if it's sunny and hot, then normally it's also dusty, and the dust in turn shortens the fan lifetime. So this is a no-brainer. And in a way, boasting with passive cooling is like announcing a new car model, and you are proudly telling the audience that this one has four wheels, and that's basically what everyone expects you to have. But then again, a couple of years ago, Nokia put fans in one particular generation of their high-end massive MIMO products, and that caused some discussion in the industry, especially in North America. And I don't think it was so well received by the market, or whatever the discussions with Nokia were. In later products, the fans were gone again. And if you keep this episode in mind,
Mhm.
there may be some marketing value in announcing sort of the obvious. But what comes to power efficiency, in these products, you should expect a new generation to be, say, 30 to 50% better than earlier generations of your own products, and you should be roughly on par with the competition if you expect to sell the product. And this is in those, say, complex massive MIMO products is of even higher importance than elsewhere, because the roughly 50% or more of the product weight is actually caused by the cooling arrangement, or the passive cooling. And if you increase the energy consumption, then you need to increase the amount of aluminium that you put into the product, and then customers will say that no, this is too bulky, I cannot install it, and it becomes kind of a difficult equation. So that's why power efficiency is sort of key in these products.
I agree. I mean, power efficiency is the primary driver for practically every RAN innovation. But I have a more fundamental question. Uh, so, Onefinity says that their radios are Open RAN compliant. And Onefinity also competes with the likes of, say, Ericsson and Nokia, as you rightly said, who also have their own products in this space. How do you think that Onefinity can do something that the other two have not been able to accomplish. I am talking only about the power efficiency and the cooling metrics.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you want to understand the secret source that they used for building the product, you would need to open it and see what's inside. But I think at least to quite some extent, the power savings they come from the Qualcomm chips that they are using.
Okay.
And in a way, it's a state of the art product, and I don't have, or I didn't actually see any power consumption figures that would have been published for this product. But basically, you can assume that okay, it's built on the latest and greatest chip out there, and probably it's sort of at least on par with what most of the vendors have out there. So,
Okay. Right. So now let's talk about, let's stick to Onefinity and see what try and understand what this contract means for them. So this is just more than any other order for Onefinity. It basically tells that this is a proven macro massive MIMO supplier. So
yeah.
does it make them more competitive in this market? Does it elevate their position a bit from where they were?
Yeah. I mean, the deal looks good from the outside, or at least the announcement is sort of you have all the ingredients in there that people will notice. We don't know the volumes or the rollout schedule or prices, but it's a fantastic reference. And I think for Onefinity, what's a big plus is that this is not the most difficult market for them, as it's basically on their home turf. And what they get as a bonus is basically Cloud RAN integration in one go. And I mean, with massive MIMO, Cloud RAN is not so easy as the front haul traffic is. Well, there's quite a lot of it. Let's put it that way. And somehow in the server world, you need to cope with that. And now they have that reference, and it's perhaps a milestone in getting into the high-end radios in a big time. I mean, these are 32 times 32 devices, which are fairly normal in current 5G networks. But let's see what comes next. I think the Qualcomm chips support also 64 by 64.
Okay.
And I think one thing is that we can expect similar announcements to follow, at least kind of in the say Open RAN community, as I think NEC has probably been the MIMO
Mhm.
provider there, and with the announcement that they will withdraw from the business, then I think there is an open spot to be basically
Okay.
occupied.
Okay. But then I'll just draw you back to your previous one of the previous answers that you gave. Uh, will Onefinity be able to get this result with partners other than Rakuten Symphony? Because one factor that you mentioned is that this is a Japanese vendor and this is a Japanese customer. Will Onefinity be able to replicate this success outside this ecosystem of
Yeah,
Japanese?
okay. So, 'cause what we don't know is that, or if we know that or think the product is a banana, what we don't know is that is it yellow or it's still a bit green. And if it's green, then
Uh-huh.
it's much easier for them to have all the issues fixed and then go to places like North America and Europe with a kind of yellow banana, and the product will be much better kind of received by the customers.
Okay,
I
so
think those the big telcos are quite picky what comes to kind of product problems.
the jury is still out there. That is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would put it kind of in a way that there is a paid learning opportunity for Onefinity
Mhm.
at Rakuten, and I think they both benefit from this deal quite a lot.
Absolutely right. Let us now go back, a little bit in time and look at another telco. I'm talking about 1&1 Germany. So interestingly, the vehicle for deployment of 1&1 was Rakuten Symphony, which is the system integration arm of Rakuten Mobile. And 1&1 is often cited as Europe's largest Open RAN environment deployment. So what do you think? I mean, is 1&1 a validation of Rakuten's model of exporting what it knows to other markets? And how independent is 1&1's vendor choice and roadmap? They said they had almost like 80 vendors or thereabouts. That was the figure that I heard. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think one as an operator is quite unique. So it's basically it's companies that have MVNO background coming together to build a 5G network, and that was at times when the O-RAN alliance was established and Open RAN was it was the password. So I think the choice for them to go with Rakuten Symphony, it's probably something that was done based on the information that you had at those days and the projections of the Open RAN evolution and say the market share gains that were expected, for example, when Dish came on board and so on. So maybe I'm not sure if they would make the same decision now again, but I think the Onefinity-Rakuten announcement gives them a new tool for moving forward. As I think NEC has been the RU vendor for
Mhm.
1&1, and they are now in the same position that they need to look for somebody else. Of course, the good news is that if you have an Open RAN, then replacing a vendor or adding kind of radios from somebody else is not as complicated as if you would have a closed system with Zipri. But then, I mean, you said also or referred to 1&1 as a large operator. So they do have something like 12 million mobile customers, but most of them are actually on national roaming. And as I
Yes.
said, they come from a MVNO background, and they reached sometime last year a milestone, which is 25% of households covered in Germany. And that means they have something like 1,500 sites. And if you compare that to the 40,000 sites or close to 40,000 sites that Deutsche Telekom, which is the market
Mhm.
leader in
Sure.
Germany, what they have, or with the 25,000 sites that Dish managed to set up, then you could sort of consider that, oh, this is peanuts. But then again, okay, I think you have that subscriber base, and gradually, I think 1&1 would like to move that into their own network. So there's a perspective for growth there.
It was very curious to see 1&1's choices. I mean, they have Rakuten Symphony as their system integrator, but I think their vRAN is from Mavenir. Whereas Rakuten Symphony already has its own platform in the form of acquisition of Altiostar. Can you explain this? Are they doing this with some specific motive or what is it?
No, so I think this you have to think about the timing, and
Mhm.
I can't remember when the
Okay,
Altiostar acquisition actually took place, but I assume that the 1&1 decisions were made
before
earlier.
that.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, because I think for obtaining the 5G license, they probably had to come up with a reasonably stable rollout plan, which they have been late on it, but at least you had to have some vendors kind of in the back pocket before uh, you get the license.
Okay, but then yeah, as you rightly said, that I think it's about 3 years since they have gone commercial, and their national footprint presently stands at around 25%. So, do you think that carrying this large group of stakeholders as their suppliers is some sort of impediment in the faster rollout?
It, uh, Again, we would need to see the financials, because there is, I mean, as a rule of thumb, uh, you pay a premium if you buy everything from Ericsson or from Nokia,
Mm-hmm.
which means that okay, if you take the, let's say, more nimble suppliers, and then you do a lot of negotiation with the negotiation power you have, then most likely you are able to save uh, quite many percentage points on the actual capex, which means over time you have lower depreciations.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you think that you need to spend money on this system integration,
Mm-hmm.
then probably you spend a few percentage points of the or your OPEX on RAN is then most likely kind of a few percentage points higher than if you would take everything from a single source. And as a ballpark again, the let's say the depreciations and the RAN OPEX, they are roughly the same, or they are kind of comparable figures in the books of a telco. So from that angle, if you stay in the Excel world or kind of financial world, then this equation may make sense. But then obviously you should also be prepared for vendor changes and hiccups that you get along the road when you work with these smaller players. And I'm not sure if all the operators who have gone with Open RAN, if they have sort of provisions for that.
Okay, great. Let me change tack here and come to another major player in the announcement related to Onefinity, and that is Qualcomm. And Qualcomm, as you know, they are using their QRU 100 chipset. So, do you think that the presence of Qualcomm has some sort of a calming effect? Is it the risk mitigator? Is it the shock absorber in all this? Okay, now so that people will be reassured that okay, now Qualcomm is there, so we are in safe hands.
It's, I mean, obviously, if you look at this from Qualcomm perspective, for them it's great to see that they have customers for their QRU 100, and
Okay.
the collaboration with Fujitsu has, as far as I know, it has not been touted by their marketing, or it has been very quiet around that. But there is a piece of public information, and that's in January last year, a company called DeepSeek got 10 million US dollars in government money for developing AI-enhanced massive MIMO together with Fujitsu and Qualcomm.
Mhm.
So I think, assuming that this project leads somewhere, then maybe you can have some AI replacement for the beamforming algorithms or something else coming. But let's see where this leads those two players. And about the, I mean, QRU100 is just one of the chips that Qualcomm is offering for the base stations, and so far I think they are quite dominant what comes to 5G small cells. As a telecom vendor, but and then okay, you may like their appearance in macro, or you may hate it, but personally, I think it's great to see that someone still invests in mobile networking silicon that's generally available for all the integrators, as so many kind of these general vendors, they have left the market. So NXP and I think TSMC announced the quitting of their GaN products, and Marvell doesn't bring up anything new according to my understanding. Renesas timing products just got a new owner. So I think most of the chip vendors, they basically decided that let's go for AI. The margins are better there and the volumes are higher.
Okay.
And I think this is becoming also a problem for the Ericssons and Nokias, as let's say the cost of building custom run silicon, it becomes a blocker at some point in time in terms of business case.
Right.
So I guess that for some projects, the QRU100 now looks like a well in the desert. So people will go there.
Yes, yeah, there are a lot of cross currents here, and we need to look at them very carefully. I think what you mentioned about the strategies adopted by Qualcomm's counterparts, I think they deserve a separate talk altogether. I'll just restrict here to a very basic premise. Now that Qualcomm is there on board for a fully Open RAN compliant 32T 32R architecture, will it encourage other telcos to come on board? Or
I mean, I'm not very familiar with Qualcomm's customer base, but they do have other let's say integrator and OEM customers for their chips, and so according to my understanding, also NEC has been working with Qualcomm. I don't know what's inside the NEC brand new massive MIMO device, which I think it will be they announced that it will be shown at Mobile World Congress, but I don't know if anyone is interested if the business is going south, but I think at least everyone who is building new products needs to look at Qualcomm and evaluate if it's a suitable platform, or if it's the, say, cost efficient platform for whatever they are building. But, let's see where this takes us, but I would not be surprised to see that they gain significant market share, and maybe they also make inroads with some of the bigger vendors. But let's see.
Okay. Right. So now let us go to the elephants in the room. That is Ericsson and Nokia. So should they be worried because of what is going on?
Yeah, I think they worry all the time, but I think for them now the biggest change is that a Cloud RAN with O-RAN interfaces seems to become somehow the norm for a lot of deployments, and for Ericsson and then the Nokia mobile infra, the biggest headache is not this minor change, but it's the fact that the RAN market is flat, and it's expected to be so for quite some time still. And I think the big question is it's not just about revenue and margin, but basically is how to stay relevant in a world where everyone looks at AI and other stuff, and telcos are basically considered to be utilities. And okay, if you looked at the announcement of the Nokia Capital Market Days in Q4, they told that, okay, they will now focus on the AI super cycle and data centers. And so you can guess who in the company gets all the money to invest and who needs to live with whatever he can earn. And the mobile guys, they now perhaps see some new competition coming, but then again, companies like Mavenir and NEC are exiting the business, and it's sort of there's something happening at ground level, but it's not any existential threat at this point. I guess now at Nokia they are now so focused on their NVIDIA collaboration, and they hope for a 6G super cycle to bring fresh money into the business. So they probably don't worry at all about these minor movements in the grassroots. But I mean, Ericsson sees things slightly different. There's the whole company is about mobile networks, and they need to excel in that business, as they don't have anywhere else to go. And
Right.
what we have seen over the last years, I think this has been for about 10 years now. They do their best in order to increase the value of the radios and the antennas. So basically, the money is escaping from what is being commoditized to what's still going to be kind of hardware based products. And I think they are doing a pretty good job in that. They have their antenna system. They have massive MIMO for whatever you like to do with TDD, and increasingly now in FDD. And I think they were the ones who were pushing the O-RAN uplink performance improvement specs. So going with those O-RAN front haul options allows them to move more functionality into the RU. So I guess they will kind of walk on that path, and probably they will also go for market share, as that's for them right now the only way how they can basically grow the business and keep the shareholders happy.
Okay, but
But,
then back to the point, do you think that what Onefinity has achieved is a scalable model? Or
yeah, I mean, for Onefinity, now what we need to see, or we don't know yet, is that are they able to bring out products in various frequency bands and grow from 32 times 32 to 64 times 64, and I mean, what they still lack is sort of a breadth of the product portfolio, and that's basically, I think, one of the key strongholds that the bigger RAN vendors have. That
yes,
especially kind of what comes to frequency combinations, there are many of those, and if you want dual band or triple band, this and that, then a small shop cannot produce them all. That's
okay. Now, whether it is Rakuten or one-on-one, both are basically greenfield operators. I think Rakuten has a customer base in the vicinity of 10 million, and one-on-one, as you said, is around 12 million. Uh, so far we are seeing Open RAN deployments at scale. At scale means I qualify that in that bracket of 10 to 12 million. Uh, what would it take to induce, the traditional brownfield legacy system heavy operators to invest in Open RAN?
yeah. I mean, I see where you're coming from. You kind of see Open RAN as a network with disaggregated Cloud RAN, multiple vendors, and basically none of the big three as the integrator. So if we take kind of that as the starting point, then as I mentioned earlier, sort of the way how an operator implements its RAN, yes, it plays a role, and if you do integration yourself, you need more technical competencies, and you need to basically prepare for surprises when companies are leaving or products don't perform as you expected, or interoperability is not on the level that you would like to have it. But I think if you look at frequency assets or BSS capabilities, marketing, and these are probably much more important for the commercial success of a network operator. And as I said earlier, so the reduced depreciation may basically pay for the extra integration effort if you do it properly. But then again, of course, you could see or look at Open RAN that like, let's say, the big five telcos that founded the Open RAN Alliance. So we know that they were sort of fed up that if they had baseband from an ailing vendor, having it replaced in an environment where everyone was doing their proprietary CPRI management, it was maybe not a daunting exercise, but it took very long time, and vendors opened their CPRI management for interoperability only at gunpoint, or in cases where there was a merger of vendors, or like when Nokia acquired Alcatel-Lucent, and then Nokia had to support the ALU CPRI as well, and you have had these type of events kind of, I think, with Ericsson as well. So if you take that approach, then I think we already passed the 10 million. We passed the 100 million mark already, but then it's the viewpoint of the big operators. But if we come back to this, let's say, really disaggregated Cloud RAN with multiple vendors, then I don't see any reason why it couldn't grow.
Okay, so there is hope, according to you. That can happen, and they can come on board if all things fall in place. Right. Okay, so that's all from my side. It was really nice talking to you on this hot topic, and I'm sure as time progresses, not very far in the future, maybe just by the end of MWC itself, there will be many more dimensions to this subject, and we will get opportunities to relook at what we spoke today and how it is, how it is shaping up in the immediate future. So it was great having you here with us, Heikki, and looking forward to many more such discussions with you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks. Have a nice day.
And same here.
Bye.